Welcome back, Scrap and Ames fans. I have got this 12x12 cut file layout to share with you. It's a little bit of a crazy one. Taking some photos of it, 3 photos here of myself, my husband and my stepdaughter, pulling some crazy faces with the camera. Now, prior to this, we'd been unwell with COVID. This is towards the end of last year. And I had pretty much been bedridden for about a week. It actually took me about 3 weeks to get over COVID because it hit me hard being immunocompromised. But yeah, so my husband had come back from a trip away for work and we were just hanging out with me in my room and yeah, doing some crazy, funny stuff, pulling faces, taking photos, all of that fun stuff. Now, I've got this cut file, which I think may have been a previous Kidaholic Kits one when I was getting the kits. I have backed that with that really bright, colourful paper. And I wanted to make this layout as bright as it can be because the photos, as you can see, are not real colourful from our crazy heads. So I decided that bright and colourful was the way to go. So I'm using up some scraps here to map my photos on, some bright yellow paper, pattern paper, which actually is the other side of the cut file. If you might have been able to see just then the pattern on the back. So just trying to use it up. I'm trying to reduce the amount of scraps I have lying around on my desk. I do have a scraps drawer system, which I reach into at times for matting photos, backing cut files, those sorts of things. But this was just sitting there, so I thought, why not use it? And as I said, there's some yellow, so that pulls in the yellow from the cut file backing and just makes the photos, I thought, pop a little bit more. Now, just measuring out where things are going to go, trying to be a little bit organised and making things a bit straighter. Now, I don't remember if this ends up with craft foam on it or the photos do, but we'll see. So yeah, just sticking some adhesive down. You don't need to watch all of that. No, I sit the cut file flat and pop the photos up, as you can see, on some craft foam. Now, my craft foam is adhesive on one side, which is a bonus. I do get it from Spotlight here in Australia in a big pack. It's the only place I can find. I know some people get it from the like the $2 shops here, but I haven't been able to find it. So I find this one might be a bit better value. There's like 60 sheets in it, and I don't know, I can't remember how much it is. I think it's like $15, which lasts me a fair while. Maybe if I was scrapping more, it'd run through it quicker, but I don't. Now, I think this tape, I feel this tape doesn't adhere to, this craft foam for some reason. Now, I brought this tape from Spotlight. So I don't know why it doesn't adhere to it, but it won't. So whack out the glue. And I'm just using the art glitter glue, which I've used previously in videos. I love this glue. I get it from Crazy Craft Obsession. I love the little pin in the end that you can get, the very pointed tip. It makes it certainly a lot easier when you're doing little, putting sprinkly little sparkly bits or just little bits of ephemera and stuff down. You haven't got big glunks of glue, which is fantastic. And there's a little pin that goes in the end to stop it from all drying up, which is fantastic for me. I just have to remember to put it on. Now, as you would see there to the side of me, I've got some DIY tags and embellishments I made previously in my video the other week. And this layout, I use a fair chunk of these on. I'm not one if I'm making DIY embellishments, which, as I said previously, I don't a lot. I don't want them hanging around and not being used. I've done that before, and it drives me a little bonkers. So I thought I'm going to try and use these up. So I've used them, I think, a fair bit this layout as such, or few, and then on a couple of others following this too, which you will see in videos. All right, just sorting through. These are Maize Inky Quill printables. So I have cut them and I've put them in this little basket instead of putting them in the folder I have for my printables. So what I plan to do is use as much of it as possible. The June ones I've just printed today. Actually, they've just come out. I probably won't cut them just yet, but have them to the side of me, and then I will put whatever's left into my folder for that month and have the new month sitting in that basket. I'm just trying to find a system that works with printables to get them used up, as opposed to just sort of sitting around. One of my issues is I'm a bit time poor, lazy, whatever, and looking through my folder can be a little frustrating. So, and then having to put them all back in. So, yeah, I'm trying a different way of doing it. And then I can go back to my folder, when I know that there's some printables there that are relevant to what I'm scrapping. The good thing with this tape, as thick as it is that I don't lose it as much as I was losing every time I do a layout, and I stock up my table around me with, ephemera and bits and pieces. I can never just find where I put my tape. It's buried under something. This big one, I don't seem to be losing it just yet. So as you can see, just popping it all down. Nothing too exciting, as such. Just adhering everything down. You could see I did fiddle around with some placement of where things were going to go, just so I can make sure size-wise things fitted. That was the key here, because the cut file obviously takes up a good portion. All right, I journal a little bit, and then I feel it needed a bit more of a backstory, so I do add, I think, another little bit of journaling off to the side as well, which you'll see in a little bit. Yeah, finger tapping, trying to figure out something else needs to happen here. What do I need to put? And I actually think I write the date of these photos underneath. Maybe. I don't know. What am I doing? Getting some new... I brought some new sticker sheets when I did a visit to Spotlight the other day, last weekend. And, just looking to see if I can add anything to that using them. Cracking open those. I don't think I do. You can see me fiddling around here. Not sure what I'm looking for. A label. There we go. All right, so just making sure I stick things back down. See, pointed end, very good for little pieces. Oh, that's right. This I had a little phrase sticker on this embellishment, this DIY embelly, and it didn't stick to it very well. So obviously it popped off. So I just was re-gluing it back on. I think they're a bit older ones from memory, so they're tackiness for the adhesive had started to come away. All right, so just making, as you can see, some small little clusters, nothing too much, because, as I said, the cut file plus 3 photos makes enough without making it too sort of overwhelming. I'm just popping that down, and I think I will add some more journaling, adding some twine through my tags. Generally, I don't leave them bare. I think they look a little bit unfinished, so I do try and add, and adds a nice little neutral black and white to the to the pages as well. Sometimes I will if I feel it won't fit, and sometimes I'll then cover up the little hole so it doesn't look too like it's missing something, like I forgot to do something. Now that tag is printable. It's not one of the ones I made. And just popping in some more journaling just to, tell the story of, I guess, why we were being silly. And it's just to make everyone feel a bit brighter after feeling so miserable for a bit. All right, now playing around with some sprinkly bits to finish it up, I think. And then I did have a moment of, is that a bit too much? But then I was like, never. Sprinkly bits are always nice. And the gold just adds a really I think another pop of colour, makes it again another little bit brighter. Excuse me. And the way I back my cut file is like ones like this, I will actually I stick down on the pattern paper that I'm going to use to back it, and then I cut around it. And I usually try and put it, in the top corner or something like that, so I'm not wasting the entire sheet. Sometimes if I've got ones where I've done different like pieces of pattern paper in the background and made them really all different, I will do the same sort of thing, but in smaller, obviously, chunks. It takes a little bit longer. And one thing I have learned is needing to let the glue dry before cutting into it, which seems like a pretty kind of moment, but I'm a little impatient sometimes and will just glue and then start cutting, and it's still a little bit squishy around the edges, so you got to be careful. All right, just adding, some gold sparkly stars and hearts, whatever it was I'm adding there that I punched out with. There we go. And I think this is all done. So a very easy sort of layout, especially when you're using a cut file and multiple photos. I don't feel that you need to add a lot of embellishments then, because otherwise I think sometimes it can look a little bit too crowded. And even with the amount I put on this page, some people might look at it and go, oh, that's a bit busy with the busy background papers and things like that. But as I said, I wanted to make this layout really bright. There's not a lot of colour in the photos to make things pop, so I thought, why not? Now just adding, as you can see, a black squiggly border just to finish it off and tie it all in. And I thought this pen was better than my, I think I've got the Pilot G2 thin type tip one, just because it is a little bit thicker, and you can therefore see it because of the background with the, squares and things. I can't think of the word now, sorry, mind blank. But here are some close-ups. Thank you so much for watching my video. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like what you're seeing. I am trying to post videos fairly regularly. And I will see you again very soon with another video. Thanks. Bye for now.